This past winter camp in 2025 was bigger and better than any camp that we've had before. I want to share my experience, what I've learned this time, the small technical details that changed my technique, and I also want to answer a lot of the questions that most of you may have about these Ma weightlifting China camps, such as, is it worth it? What does the training actually look like? Who coaches you and how much attention do you get? Who is this camp really for? And what if you have any injuries or limitations with your body? So this winter, we've had over 15 people from all over the world join us. From UAE, Morocco, Russia, Canada, US, France, Switzerland, Malaysia, and even Lebanon. We had every level imaginable, from absolute beginners to international level athletes, including a Morocco national athlete, Ismail Rashidi, who competed at the 2025 World Cup in Norway. So the first question everyone asks is always the same. Is it real Chinese weightlifting or is it just marketing? This isn't set up in a commercial or hotel gym. This isn't a seminar. This is the authentic, real Chinese weightlifting experience that our training camp takes place in the top training facilities of China. And this winter, it took place back in Fuzhou, an IWF recognized training center that produced a handful of Olympians such as Li Fabin, Li Wenwen. It's one of the top provincial training centers all across China that feeds athletes to the national team. And at this base, we train alongside up-and-coming champions, athletes that you've seen at the international stage or placed top 3 at the national games, who have the hopes of becoming the future Olympians of China. You'll learn from the very same system that produced generations of elite lifters, from the coaches who come from that era, who are former world champions, former national team coaches. It's not watered down at all. It's not westernized. It is true essence of Chinese weightlifting that you won't be able to get anywhere else in the world. Because Coach Ma comes from a direct lineage tied to the Chinese Olympic weightlifting history. This year, I traveled all across China with him after our camp to visit his former colleagues and teammates, and many of whom were former world champions, national level coaches, and high level weightlifting directors. Every city we go to, people somehow find out Coach Ma is going to, so his former colleagues and teammates set up a lavish dinner full of baijiu alcohol, and we eat and drink to our heart's desire. And this is where I learned his reputation in China, and it's absolutely real and well-deserved. These camps are designed to give you an authentic experience because that's Coach Ma's passion. He's not here to give you anything else. It's not a surface level imitation either. And unlike other people who are doing Chinese weightlifting camps out there, Coach Ma is the only one that have the wide range of access he has to top level training facilities. Other camps are very limited to what they can do, and they have to charge a very high price because they don't have the same access of Coach Ma. And Coach Ma has been doing this for over 20 years now, so he's an absolute OG, and he has that OG respect when he goes to China. So this is the most authentic training camp that you will experience compared to other people who are doing it. Another question is, a lot of people have a fear is, am I good enough to go to one of these camps? Okay, I'm not strong enough, I'm not technical enough, I'll be the weakest one out there. And here's the truth. In China, they don't care about how much you lift. They care about how well you move. So for the context, the women at the base here lift more than I do as a 95 kilo man. I can't even compete with the 55 kilo man. So these athletes have trained their entire lives in the professional system, but you don't come here to prove anything. You come here to learn. So leave your pride at the door when you enter the training hall. We have absolute beginners, we've had CrossFitters, and we had international level competitive weightlifters join us to learn from the best of Chinese weightlifting. Everyone trains together. There's no ego, there's no ranking, there's no comparison. If you're willing to learn, you belong here. So here's what a normal day looks like. It's simple, but it's very structured. You wake up, we eat together, and we train. In the morning session, it focuses heavily on technique, positions, pose, timing. Coach Ma teaches and demonstrates the movement, then everyone practices on their own. Then he walks around, spending one-on-one time with each person, analyzing their movement and giving direct feedback. He gives you the roadmaps for the steps on how you can improve your technique. And luckily, when we were there, the other coaches and athletes had enough spare time to come over as they're familiar with us from all the other camps already, and help us one by one to improve our technique, giving not only a coach's perspective, but also a fresh athlete's perspective. So this is really quite unique. And some people might worry about the language barrier, but it's really not an issue at all. First of all, I'm around to translate for the coaches or all the athletes, and Coach Ma speaks perfect English, so you won't have any issue with that. But also, translation apps on the phone works really well. We had Rowan befriend many of the female athletes using translate apps. But lastly, weightlifting is very physical, so you can communicate a lot just through body language. So don't worry about the language barrier. It'll be easy enough, simple enough. There's enough solutions that it won't cause you any issues. So after the morning session is done, we go up and eat lunch, and then everyone have a big nap until the evening training session. The evening training session is where the intensity turns up. The athletes treat training like their job. Coaches watch very closely and will call you out if you're wasting time. No phones, no joking around, and it's serious. For our group, watching these athletes is motivating. We start our own session and follow the structured program provided by Coach Ma, similar to what the athletes are doing. This is where you take the technical work from the morning session and apply it with heavier loads. And this year, because the camp started after the national games, the athletes are just returning from a long break. So the training was more relaxed than usual. And that gave us the opportunity to train right alongside them, to share the same bar and platform with them. I really took advantage of that. And I learned countless small details and pro tips. Hearing them say my technique had improved a lot since my first time visiting meant a lot to me. It kind of made me feel like I've earned my unofficial black belts for Olympic weightlifting. So this training rhythm repeats every day. We have Thursdays and Sundays as our main rest days. But that consistency of this day-by-day routine is where the progress ultimately comes from. There's no chaos, there's no guessing, you just show up and train. During our training camp, we had some people who had small injuries, but luckily there's a sports doctors around to treat you on your pain, diagnose the root cause. One of our participants, Harley, had a hip issue, and he saw the doctor several times, giving really good treatment. And all of our athletes were able to get like cupping, muscle scraping, and even acupuncture. Okay, so now let's talk about what's on everyone's mind. Is it worth it? At first, when I joined the camp, it was priced at 3,000 USD, not including the flights. And honestly, at that time, it was a lot of money, but I pulled the trigger. And after that, because I work very closely with Coach Ma, I try to break down the cost and help lower the price to be more affordable. So now it's at 2,500 USD. And compared to the price of other Chinese weightlifting camps, we currently offer the lowest price with the most premium access. The other weightlifting camps, they have to spend a lot of money paying the camp itself for the access and not including the training, the food, and the lodging fees. And they have to pay a premium for the access, whereas Coach Ma's reputation triumphs that. Where we cut down the cost to training the facility, that's why our price is the lowest at $2,500. And we also like to rotate our location. So for returning participants that's been coming back for 2 to 3 times now, they get different cultural and training experience as well. So it doesn't feel very repetitive. So beyond training, we also plan cultural experiences on weekend. We take the bullet train to see different cities. We go recover in natural hot springs and visit local historical sites. And of course, we go shopping. This is a perfect trip for those people who don't want to waste money on tourist traps, but instead want to invest in something meaningful, productive, and aligned with their passion for weightlifting. And that's why our weightlifting camps became such a success, because it's a vacation, you're productive, you're not lying around and rotting and getting fat. Well, depending how much food you eat, because food's pretty good. So this is a full, all-inclusive camp, meaning training, accommodation, meals, transportation, translation, daily, are all included. You bring some money if you want to get extra massages, buy, little knickknacks and tourist stuff we go out on the weekends to do. But also, I'll be here with my camera to capture candid moments of you during your training camps, so you have some pictures and videos to show your friends and family on your awesome experience training in China. So once you arrive, there's really no need to think about anything. We'll pick you up from the airport. There's no hidden cells. There's no up cost. You focus on lifting, and that's it. So this camp runs for 2 weeks, but if your time and budget is limited, we also offer a 1-week option as well. So who is this camp for? So I believe this camp are for people who genuinely want to improve their weightlifting. If you care about only lifting heavy, showing off, this probably isn't the camp for you. But if you love the process, have the discipline, the open-mindedness, the repetition, the attention to detail, then you'll love it here. The best people who come to these camps are curious, humble, kind, and open-minded. I'm genuinely grateful for everyone who joined this past camp, and it made it such a special experience for everyone. And there's tons of hilarious moments that, over the span of 2 weeks, we got to have so much fun and get to know each other quite well through the sport of weightlifting. Just really special. So if you're thinking about joining us for our next coming camp, the summer camp in July, I highly recommend signing up for the early bird runs out. This summer, we'll be returning to Haining, Zhejiang at the Asian Weightlifting Training Center. And before that, the UMWF Masters World Cup will take place just the weekend before the camp. So if you're over 35, this will be an incredible opportunity to both compete and then train in China for a complete weightlifting experience. And Zhejiang in the summer is going to be beautiful. We're going to visit places like Suzhou and Hangzhou for sightseeing on the weekend. So it's such an awesome time of year to be in China. So if you're interested, for more details, check out coachma.net or DM us on Instagram at Ma Weightlifting. And hopefully I'll see you in China this summer.